Have you ever wondered, is your home a target for burglary? Well, I've got 15 things that you need to check out to be sure that you aren't making yourself a target, and these things can be fixed to help keep your home much more secure. So stay tuned. Hi, it's Robin with SeniorSafetyAdvice.com, and today I'm going to talk about 15 things that you may be overlooking around your house or within your house that are actually making you a target for burglars. So let's see if you've got any of these and what you can do to fix them. So the first thing is weird to me, but do you know that 30% of people do not even lock their doors? I don't understand that, I suppose because I'm a city girl and I was just always taught that you lock all your doors. But 30% of people don't do it, which means a thief can just walk in. You may think that you're safe at home for those who are working through the pandemic at home or seniors who have retired and are home during the day, but actually there are more burglaries that happen during the day than at night. So don't think you're safe, make sure you lock your door. Item number 2, make sure you lock your sliding door. That is something that a lot of people don't do, and sliding doors can actually be lifted up off the track high enough that the little locking mechanism will rise above the pin and the thief can just lift the door out of the way and in they come. So what you want to do with that is either get a lock. It's not that expensive, but you can get a lock online to lock the track, and then you can either lock the bottom, put the lock on the bottom track, or you can put it up on the top track. If you don't want to do that, they have security bars that either will fit into the bottom track or can be attached to the door frame or the door, and then the bar just drops into place so you can lift it out of the way when you're ready to open the door. The cheapest way, but it is also effective, is to just get a broomstick handle or some type of a long piece of wood that you can stick into the track. The idea is to keep the burglar, from being able to lift the door out of the track and come into the house. So the third thing is your trash. What are you putting out in your trash? If you roll your trash out, my neighbor just did this the other day. I was pretty astounded. The holidays have just passed, and so they got a huge television for the holidays. So what did they do? They stuck this big long box out there alongside their trash can. So now anybody going up and down the road until that trash is picked up knows that they just got a 60-inch television, and guess what? Thieves are looking for that. They want to know. So make sure, if you get something like that, or a gaming system, a video or stereo equipment, things like that, make sure that you tear up the boxes, cut up the boxes, put the pieces in the trash container. Don't just leave this big, huge box sitting out in advertising. Item number 4 is watching out for your mail, and item number 5 is watching out for your newspapers. Again, now if you are traveling, either stop your mail because thieves watch for mail buildup, or have a neighbor pick up the mail. Same thing with your newspaper subscriptions if you're still getting them. If papers pile up and there's several of them in the driveway, thieves are going to think you're not home. And even if you are actually home, our neighbor says she checks her mailbox once or twice a week. So thieves will actually walk down a street and look into mailboxes to see whether or not there's an accumulation. So really, she's better to go out there and pick up her mail every day. And she's out there walking her dog, so there's no reason she can't. But just don't let newspapers and the mail build up. So item number 6 is make sure that you don't leave a key hanging in the door, particularly if you have side lights to your front door, or we have French doors in the back, so there's windows there, so I don't want to have a key hanging in the door. It would be very easy for somebody to see that key, punch a hole in the glass, reach in, turn the key, and then they're in your house. And that brings me to windows. Remember when I said make sure your door is locked and your sliding doors, that also goes for windows. Sometimes people will leave windows cracked in the summer or even in the winter because they're trying to get a little bit of fresh air through, but you don't want to do that. It's very easy for a thief to just slide that window up or away and crawl in. Same thing for doggy doors. Not every thief is going to be a regular sized person. Thin people can be thieves as well, and they can crawl through some of these smallest doggy doors, or like my neighbor always used to leave the garage door about 1.5 feet up so that their cat could come and go. You can't do that because a thief can just crawl right under that and then they have access to your house. So speaking of keys, let's talk about spare keys. Don't leave your spare key under the doormat outside the front door. Don't leave it under the flower pot. Don't put it under a rock in your flower bed. These are all places where thieves know to look. It's the first thing that they check. Even those fake rocks look fake that you've seen sometimes that hide keys. They still look fake. Don't do it. It's better to give a spare key to either a trusted neighbor, or if you have a friend that lives close by. Esther's my partner at Senior Safety Advice. We don't live too far from each other, so we've exchanged keys. Hasn't happened very often. I think maybe twice in 13 years that one of us has gotten locked out, but the other one has always been able to have the key and be able to let us back in if we had to. The other thing too is in my house, we have a key hidden in the garage, and then we have one of those keyless entry pads that you have to put the code in. So that's another option, because that way, if I were to lock myself out, I can just enter the code and then I can raise the garage door. I know where the key is and I can get back into the house. Of course, you don't want to have the key hanging in plain sight if you do something like that, so it is actually hidden in the garage. I have no idea what number I'm on now. I'm thinking maybe number 9. But at any rate, the next item that you want to be watchful of is your car fob. If you have one of those ignition things, you don't need the key, and you have the ignition that you just need to carry that fob with you, lots of people have gotten lazy and they leave that fob in their console of their car. So what happens in that case, the fob is in the car. All a thief has to do is pull the door handle. The car will unlock because the fob thinks that you're there trying to unlock it. And so the thief is now in your car. They have the fob. You have in your glove box your papers for the car, your license and registration. So now they have your address. Guess what? They drive to your house, and now they've got your garage door opener more likely than not. And so they can get into the house that way. So be very wary. And for some reason, this is a side one that I'm not even counting of 15 things, but we have had a rash in our neighborhood of thefts where people are breaking into cars that are in driveways at night. So for whatever reason, people leave their laptop or some other valuable thing in their car, and then they leave the car in the driveway and they leave the door unlocked. I don't understand it, but if your car is in your driveway, lock the car and also remove the valuables. So the next thing that can make your home a target is having a window air conditioner unit. Now I know that doesn't seem likely, but the thing is that a burglar can just kick that window unit in or push it through the window itself. Now they've got access to your house. So if at all possible, you don't want to have those. I would suggest, if you don't have a whole house air conditioning system, they have these personal air conditioners that stand up on a stand on the inside of the house, or like a swamp cooler or something like that. Use something like that in your bedroom at night rather than a window air conditioner. So the opposite season for window air conditioners means snow and cold. If you are not at home, or you're home but you haven't been out in a while and it snows, you either want to walk up and down your driveway a couple of times, or your front path, or if you're gone, have a neighbor do that if at all possible, because having fresh snow on the ground and no tracks is a cardinal sign to a burglar that nobody is at home. And also, if you're traveling in the summertime, you want to be sure that you have somebody come and cut your yard. You also want to be sure you have bushes trimmed back before you leave so that the bushes are not hiding the windows and providing cover for a burglar. But trimming the yard, mowing the lawn, that is another big thing. If people see weeds and that kind of thing, and not only are you going to get in trouble with your HOA maybe, or your neighbors, but it's a sign to burglars that there may not be somebody home. And continuing on that theme, you also don't want to leave tools sitting outside in your backyard or along the side of the house. If you leave a ladder outside, for example, a burglar can pick that up, walk around to the backyard, and perhaps use it to get to the second story windows and get in that way. If you leave hammers out, easy way for a burglar to break a window and get into the house. So make sure you clean up after yourself and keep those tools put away where they belong. The next thing that's attractive to a burglar is having windows and then leaving valuables in plain sight in your house. So, for example, we have a deck and it's got, as I said, French doors. So it would be silly of me to leave, I don't know, cash, a big stack of cash sitting on my table along the side of the sofa. Somebody could look at that and see it. It would be attractive to them. So the idea is, if at all possible, don't have that in plain sight, but also make sure that your blinds are closed, your curtains are closed. If you are going to be gone, it would be good if you could have a neighbor maybe that's trusted to come in and raise and lower blinds on occasion, or open and close your curtains, every other day or something like that. At least things look different. And if somebody is watching your house over a period of time, which thieves do, most of them are opportunistic and they'll take a chance if they see something they can grab quick. But many of them also plan their robberies. And so if you have somebody do this while you're away, it looks like you're home, and that can help to ward off any robberies. So that brings me to the next item, and that is making sure that you leave lights on. So you can get a timer just like this that just attaches to a lamp, and then you can set the times for when it goes on or off. Or you can use, if you've got smart plugs, you can plug your lamps into those. And then you can set with your app, you can set how, and then with your app on your phone, you can set the times that you want to have the lights go on and off. And if you do this with several lamps throughout the house, looks like somebody is home. So maybe you put a timer on a lamp in your living room, and another one in your bedroom, and one in the kitchen. If you do that and then have them going on and off at different times, it looks like somebody's moving around in the house. One thing to keep in mind, you can also do this with a radio or a television. You could plug in a Google Home or an Alexa device, and you can just talk to them and have them program to play music at a certain time. But make sure that you're not just plugging a radio in that's going to run constantly for like the entire weekend while you're gone, because that is a sign too. If the radio is still running at 2 a.m., people know what's up. So you want to make sure that you either have an app on your phone where you can control them through one of those smart home devices, or have somebody turn the radio on and off if at all possible for you. So if you are traveling, be wary of posting on social media. Yes, it's wonderful to tell your friends that you've traveled, well, aside from the pandemic, but you're on this cruise, or you've traveled to this wonderful island, or you're having dinner at this great steakhouse. Don't post it while you're out, because people are opportunistic, and you never know when a burglar is going to see something like that and realize that you aren't home. And that goes for the last item on my list. Be wary of who you have in your home. So yes, you might want to have friends over, which is fine, or neighbors, but what if your friends or neighbors invite friends or neighbors? Now you've got people in your house that you don't know. Then they may be looking around and seeing what you have. They see a social media post, they know they can come back and grab that. Unfortunately, that also goes for obituaries. Sometimes people will rob houses when there is an obituary posted in the paper or online, and it tells what time and what day. It's very easy to look up an address and know that everybody is probably going to be attending this person's funeral, and then you can, or a burglar can rob that house while everybody is away at the funeral. So I'm not sure how to tell you to get around that, because of course you do want people to know about a funeral, but in that case, maybe what you would do is have a friend or a trusted neighbor watching your house while the house is unoccupied during that particular circumstance. And one other thing that I just thought of, so 16 items, woohoo, bonus for you, is you want to be very careful of workers that have access to the house or that have been doing work on your house. You know, they can be looking around and seeing what you have in the home as they're walking through it. So we always try, when somebody's coming in and doing work in the house, we always try to kind of sit with them in the same vicinity so that we know, particularly if there's a team. For example, we had some renovations done in our bathroom, and there were 3 guys in there doing tile work. Well, one could be wandering around and checking out all of your stuff while the other 2 are making it sound like they're hard at work. So don't just arbitrarily let people in and let them go off and do whatever they want, because they could be casing your house. It happens all the time that people are robbed afterwards, after they have a renovation or some work done on their house. And yet another caution, so you're getting another bonus today. Speaking of that, makes me think of a story that a patient told me. They were having renovations done on their home, and they had one of those signs in the front yard that, you know, home renovations done by XYZ company. Don't allow those signs to be posted, because what happened is a burglar, rapist, we guess, saw that sign, knocked on the door. She'd had people coming and going all week long because they were doing several things in the house, so she never knew, was a plumber coming or was a tile guy coming or whatever. So this guy knocked on the door and he said, yes, I'm with XYZ company. She opened the door thinking that it was a worker. He came in and he beat her so badly. And she just kept yelling and, yelling for her husband, who wasn't home, but the person didn't know that. So he ultimately ran out, but she's pretty sure she would have been raped. So please be very cautious with work signs, workers, people knocking on the door and saying that they're here, they're trying to clean your gutters or whatever. Don't ever open the door for those people. If at all possible, just talk through the door. So I hope these tips have helped you. I hope you maybe will see some areas that you can improve so that your home is a little more safe and secure if you've overlooked something like this. If you can think of anything that I have forgotten, please drop your comments down in the comment section below and let us know what you've done to make your house a little more secure. If you liked the video, we'd appreciate a thumbs up, and we'd also love it if you would subscribe to our Senior Safety Advice channel. It's free, it doesn't cost anything. You just hit that little subscription button and then hit the notification bell that pops up right after, and you will know about a video every time we put one out. You'll be alerted. We put a video out every Friday on tips and tricks to help you age in place safely, and we hope you will join us. So until the next video, stay safe. Take care. Thanks. Bye.